Hi guys, Billy back. This is going to be a quick unboxing and review of the Supermadtoys 1/6 scale Scream Face figure. I have never had a Supermad figure before. I've heard some really weird tales about their products. They're quite a small operation. They do a limited run, but for the most part, a lot of people say they are very touch and go. So we're going to have a quick look at this figure and see exactly what the quality is and what people can expect from figures like the Catwoman figure they're going to be doing very, very soon. As you can see, very, very basic box. It's just a white card box and it's got a sticker on the front with Supermadtoys, the Scream face there. And just Scream Face Supermadtoys, and also their Facebook page, which is Supermadtoys. On the side, we've got nothing. On the back, we've got nothing. The other side, nothing. 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 That is it. Not much at all, to be honest. In terms of packaging, it's very, very, very amateur, and it just doesn't leap out at you. Doesn't make you feel like you bought something amazing. It's just below average, to be honest. It's just, nah. Okay, as we can see, I've got it open at the side. We're going to pull this out, see what we get. Voila. And that's the packaging on the inside. We can see we have the figure, and oh, I can already see there's a problem, but there's the figure, and it's just in like a really restrictive box. That's probably quite good. You don't want this rolling around loose or anything, so it's nice that they've actually used the clamshell. Once you pull this out, I can see that we have some stuff in there back. I'm going to lean that up against the wall there. It doesn't look very good. Looks a bit difficult, and it looks like we've got some stuff in here, and that's it for the box. Very basic. Okay, and here is Scream Face out of the box. It's decidedly wonky because I haven't really tried to futz with it yet. I haven't done anything. I've literally pulled it out of the box to take a look. My initial impressions, it's pretty bare bones, if I'm honest. I don't know what I was expecting, but I'll be honest with you, I was expecting a little bit more. Okay guys, I've managed to get into some sort of a semblance of a pose, but it wasn't easy. I've had to use a stony stand. Guy who makes my stands, I love them. I tried to get into some sort of semblance of a pose, but it wasn't easy. First of all, we're going to go into the actual look of the figure, and then we're going to go into everything else. It's not good, guys. It is not good. Okay, first off the bat, we're going to go with the actual head sculpt. The head sculpt's quite simple. I don't know how hard it would be to make one of these, but if you're an average head sculptor who knows what you're doing, you could probably knock this one out of the park in a reasonable amount of time. There's not a lot of detail to it. If you have a look, it's just a simple white and black face, but even then Supermadtoys just couldn't get it right. Underneath the head, underneath the hood here, we have a head sculpt, but it's very, very basic. We've got a sort of mask on there, and then we've got like an old stock standard head with an ear and the head all blacked out, because it's not meant to be posed this way. It's meant to have the hood on at all times. So we're going to pull that up. It's fairly basic, but it does work. The problem is the paint app. We bring this in right now. I'm going to bring it in towards the camera. Let's hope it doesn't lose the focus. Right on the mouth. Big paint chip right there. It's not a deal breaker if you've got some white paint, I guess, but it shouldn't be coming to you like that. It really shouldn't. And inside the mouth, I'm trying to show it as best I can, but inside the mouth there is the black, I think it's acrylic paint, but it's a bit streaky. I don't know if that's because of the sculpting, or if that's just the paint application is not very good. That's a shame. It shouldn't be coming to us like that. It shouldn't have paint chips missing already. I just took it out of the box and it should not have that. In terms of the clothing, you've got the hood up here and it's got actual wires inside the hood and an elasticated bit inside. So you can elasticate around the head and then pull the hood over so it sort of hangs, which is, you know, not a bad idea. It's quite a fairly okay idea to do, and I think that's what they got right. It was effectively a very good way of being able to get this hood to come forward but not hide the face, while simultaneously still keeping that hood on. The actual material or fabric itself is okay. I mean, considering the point of this character was it was like a cheap Halloween costume, you can't really blame them when this looks a little bit like a cheap fabric, because that's what it's meant to be. And it's got some Velcro down the front here to stick this all together. Trying to keep this down and articulated as well as possible, but it's a little bit difficult at the moment. As you can see, it's got the streamers hanging out the side here, and it fits, you know, it's quite a loose fitting. but it has all these sort of really cheap tacky things here. These parts here, although it's all cut fabric, it does feel like it might rip fairly easily, so you don't want to be pulling on that too hard. But again, it's meant to look like a cheap Halloween costume, and it does look like a cheap Halloween costume, whether you like that or not. It's got elasticated cuffs around the side. I come down, it's got this tied belt around the waist, which is okay, and this goes all the way down to the streamy sort of design, and it comes all the way down to show off all the fabric down the bottom here. Nice and cheap. And then you've got a pair of black trousers underneath, which felt reasonably okay, a bit of a smooth satiny finish. And then we have these rubberized plastic shoes. I like the fact that they've actually managed to put wires inside the actual side of the costume, so you can pose it and have it sort of dynamic as you want it on the sides anyway, because there's none at the back, there's none at the front. So you can only have this curling up or curling out as any way you can, but it almost feels for naught when you actually get to the body. But as we come down, we can see the boots here. They're okay, they do the job I guess, but you can see there's a big gap there from the trousers, and they're fairly weathered. Boots are okay, not great, but they do the job. Well, they would. The rest of the figure was okay. In terms of articulation, there isn't a lot of restriction with the body. There's a bit of a movement in the head left and right, not much in the head down or up, very restricted. Bit to the side, bit to the side, and that's about it. The arms come all the way up, as you can see, not great. You get double bends in the elbows all the way up, so you can do like a chicken pose if you wanted to do a chicken pose. He's got ab flex to about there, comes all the way back to an ab flex there, and then we've got the legs, and this is where this thing falls the fuck down. Look at that. Come here. Check that out. Just moving this around basically, and the foot peg popped off, and off comes the shoe. Yeah, it's not great, guys. And then we got the leg going up, comes all the way up, which is really nice. Double bend in the leg. Comes all the way down, comes all the way across, get the leg out, and get the leg back about this far, and all the way up. Again, there's not much articulation restriction from a normal 1/6 scale figure. An ankle pivot is, look at that, look how shit that is. Super long pegs, no actual support there. Absolute dog turd. And if we come in, let's see if we can zoom in on this. Even the ankle pegs aren't that great. They look a little bit damaged already, which is a real shame. This body is cheap as fuck. No, look at that. When I was moving the wire around, this popped out. Look at that. Yay! That's what you want, isn't it? And you just bought the figure. Ugh. Okay. And I've just tried to move the arm across, and the wrist pegs are quite loose. They just pop out quite easily. You've got to be careful of that. That doesn't really matter, because we're going to come to another part of this, which is the accessories. You get a normal knife, which looks quite good. It's quite accurate to the film. Just a big stabby knife. Paint application isn't amazing. You can see there's some marks there, but it's not terrible. But for the price, I would expect this to at least be a little better. And also we get 2 sets of hands. Now, first set of hands is already on the body, which is like the gripping hands. And then you get 2 open-handed hands that are gloved. But there's a big problem with them, and I'm going to show you now exactly what that big problem is. Can you spot a difference between this hand and that hand? Because I can. This one has big cuffs all around the back. This doesn't have cuffs. Billow out at the back to hold the hand. And these aren't the same. These are some sort of stock hand that they've just shoved in the box. They're not the same hand as this, and they don't match. And not only that, but the wrist pegs here are a bit too round for the shape of this glove here. This, once you warm it up, and you've got to stretch it out. You stretch it out, and then you can put the wrist peg in. But as soon as this shrinks back to its normal shape, it pops the wrist peg back out. It's useless. It's absolutely useless. I'm glad I dropped it. Fuck it. I'm dropping that one as well. Who cares? Absolute dog shit. So all you've got really are the 2 gripping hands. And one hand he's holding his knife, and the other hand looks like he's about to jerk himself off. Look. I'm even trying to make the jerking hand motion, and it's being a pain in the ass. That's Supermadtoys giving me the wanker sign, going, thanks for your money. Anyway, let's go back to what we were talking about. You get this really nice sort of bloody knife, which is quite a nice effect on there. That is a good amount of blood for a Scream figure. Nice handle, fairly reasonable paint app. I'm not going to bitch on that too much, that's okay. And you also get a little voice modulator, like a walkie-talkie voice modulator, which I'm not entirely sure if this is actually quite accurate or not. But where the fuck's he going to hold it? Can't really hold it in this hand, and the other two hands don't go on the figure. So why is that there, to be honest? In all honesty, I think Supermadtoys could have done a bit of a better job on this. At least do some quality control. Make sure that what you're pumping out isn't, you know, absolute dog shit. So what do you do? What do you make sure? You make sure the paint application is how it should be, not paint chips missing. What's the point in that? It's not hard. If you're going to do this, if you're going to produce these figures, if you're going to try and be in the 1/6 scale high end or even mid range sort of level, you need to step up your game. I don't care how small of an operation you are. If you're going to do this, you need to at least be able to produce something of a reasonable quality. And there's a lot of things on this that are nearly there, but they just don't take the time to fix them. The paint app on the head, the cheap shit body that doesn't stand on its own, these horrible long wrist pegs that they've just jammed in with these cheap stock foot that they managed to squeeze into the boot, the metal wire that sticks out of the side of the actual costume. This isn't a hard figure. It's really not for what is normally expected of you within the 1/6 scale collecting world. It's not a hard figure to do. There's some good ideas. The hood, the elasticated bit around the head here to bring this hood forward so that you can actually do that. The wire in there so you can actually sculpt and shape this to the way you want it a little bit more is good. The cheap stock extra hands that you put in that don't work because they're not even the same hand, it's just crap. Supermadtoys, you need to up your game. I mean, if you're going to be producing that Catwoman figure, I dread to think what that's going to turn out like, because you can't even get a basic figure like this right. Should you spend money on this? No. You shouldn't spend any money on this unless you can get it for cheap, because you're going to have to buy another body to put this figure in, because that body is shite. The loose joints, the crap articulation, the inability to stand on its own is a strong indicator of a bad figure. I've got cheap figures. I've got Our World's Hannibal Lecter. I've got Craft One's Shocking Guy. I've got Wasteland Ranger from Virtual Toys. I've got The Laughter from Toys Era. And every single one of them can stand on their own without much problem. Supermadtoys pumped this shot out and you can't do anything with it. You've got to replace the body. And that's not on. All you need to do is spend an extra couple of bucks getting a better body, and you wouldn't have half the complaints you're going to get. But as it is, this isn't a great figure. You really should save your money. And I would be very careful with buying from Supermadtoys. I have pre-ordered the Supermad Battle Damage Catwoman that Supermad have put out. But I am very close to cancelling that pre-order because I don't think they've got what it takes to produce a reasonably good figure. This is my first experience with them and it hasn't been a great one. Should you get it? No. Don't. Save your money. Wait for a better release, or be willing to add an extra couple of bucks to your budget so that you can buy another body to put this in. And hopefully it won't be as shite as the one they give you here. Okay guys, that's it from me. That was just a quick unboxing and review. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe. If you could do me a favour, could you get the fuck out of my cave? Thanks a lot guys. Bye bye. Bye bye Billy. Thanks for your fucking money.